the early closure of the transfer window, closing it before the season starts? What do you think?
Well, it's madness.
I personally am fine with it. I really am.
Yeah, but it puts us behind the other clubs, doesn't it, for the Champions League?
It shouldn't do, because you should do your business from the end of the season till now. We all moaned about it last year when Oxlade-Chamberlain played for Arsenal, and a week later he was playing for Liverpool against them when Arsenal played Liverpool. So it needed to be brought in. We voted for it. It was a problem because the fact that it went to a vote, people were talking about it and it was an issue. The thing is now is that the teams need to be strong. If somebody comes in and wants to take one of your better players now, you just say no. And you just have a little bit of bottle about yourselves and show that they're not to be pushed around.
The big issue, Steve, was the Premier League clubs coming in for other Premier League players. So if they'd have just stopped it for Premier League clubs to poach Premier League players, and they could still deal within Europe with the Premier League, that would have been better in my view.
Yeah.
As a manager, I was at Ipswich at the time, and I voted for it to be there, to end on the 9th of August, because then, as a Championship manager, I had then 3 weeks when Premier League teams have got all their players sorted out, they've got the squads, and then they've got 3 weeks to loan players to teams like us.
Yes, exactly.
And so I thought that was a really good idea. If it had been a Premier League, I probably wouldn't have voted for it.
But you think about then the Champions League, so you have all these teams in Europe now, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, they can compete for players that the Premier League can't go after. So how is that a fair competition to actually win the Champions League? I know that only affects the top four, but nonetheless, we should have made it a competitive for them.
It's a good point.
Yeah, but I just think we should have you do your business early on, you get it done. We know we've got a 9th of August deadline, you get your business done.
Yeah, but Bayern Munich now know that the English clubs are not in for a top player.
For whom? So, what players?
Well, whatever players are available, the English market can't buy, and they've got the most money. The English clubs are the wealthiest.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no players left. I mean, who?
There's going to be a lot of business between now and then.
Between themselves, probably. But I wouldn't think that there's English teams out there thinking, oh my God, I wish we'd have gone and got Pulisic and Dortmund. You would have got him a while ago.
It's losing somebody.
Yeah, well, that's all it is. It's losing Hazard now, but you just don't lose him.
Losing somebody the next 3 weeks and then not having the ability to go and get somebody else. That is the problem.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a big team, you just say no to everybody. If Madrid come in and say we'll give you 300 million for Hazard, you just say no. Don't you? Chelsea just go no.
But I think if it runs, and I know people didn't like it, but if it runs a little bit longer, then you get an injury today, you can make a change, you can go and buy somebody, you can correct the squad. You look at a player.
But there comes a time when you can't.
When you can't. Yeah, but what happens if that happens on September the 2nd?
Well, then bring the rest of Europe through to the 9th of July, then, to the 9th of August. Yeah. We shouldn't be on a different date to anybody else. We've just made it. We've made ourselves weaker in Europe.
Dealing in England all on the same day, you're still allowed to trade within Europe. That would have been. That's a bigger problem, trading in Europe. I think that's something else we're talking about now. So.
The thing is, Europe, as you said, if it was just the Premier League, fine. Europe is completely different because
the rest of the world, not just Europe.
They start their league campaign. We've started it on our league campaign, the transfer deadline day, haven't we? Whereas Europe play after us, a week after, 2 weeks after. So, I agree, you can't raid into the Premier League, but Europe is completely different because they have different deadlines.